Okay, so I finally figured out how to do this. The connection error that I was getting kind of worked itself out. I think what might be happening is that there's another computer or some kind of device downstairs that we're using at night that is on the same port. So I don't know if my wife turned on an iPad. Something was interrupting, and so I wasn't recognizing this comm because it was probably on comm 8, which is the same port that I'm using for this thing. Anyways, so you guys have seen this before. So now I basically this is like the regular setup, but if I put it in edit mode, I was telling Toshi about all these control points. The circles are the control points. So when I click on, let's say, this turnout here, I can go down to edit, and it pops up a window that gives me a choice of picking out what turnout I want to use for that particular turnout that I selected. So right now I just have them labeled like this, so they're really clear to me where they're going if they're thrown. So once you select that one, then it sets it for that spot on the layout that you originally clicked on. Super easy once you set this up, but these all have to be set up in a different panel before you do that with their particular addresses. So like one is 22, one is 33, one's 44, and so on. So this particular one, I believe, is 30. No, that's 11. And I call it Saluda to East Yard because it reverses out of Saluda and it goes into the yard as its path. So once you do that, you just click done, and you basically set it to there. But if you notice that when you actually see the turnout, it's backwards. You just switch it here, and then it sets it the correct way. It doesn't really matter if it's really close or really thrown. It just changes the route. So then you hit done, and then so once you click on here, this is the one we're working on, right? That's the one that if I go in reverse, it'll go into the East Yard over here. So when I click on it, it should engage. I don't know if you can hear them going, but it's kind of soft. But the tortoise machine just switched behind me. So right now, it's showing. Wait, let me just get out of this edit mode. So right now, it's showing that this is a straight path coming out of this line. And you see how it's broken? It's not connecting to the reverse loop. So it should theoretically be straight, and then over here this switch is off. So if I click on this, if I want to continue my train going straight to the tunnel, I just click on there, and you can hear the machines going behind me. It's straight. So now if we go to the layout, remember we're coming out of Saluda and not taking the reverse loop, going straight into the tunnel, and that should be set up. So let's see. So if I go over here, here's Saluda, and the train's actually on that track that we're talking about. So this switch theoretically should be straight, closed, right? There it is, it's closed. So that's taking me this way and not into the reverse loop. And the tunnel's over here, so that turnout should be lined up. And there it is, it's lined up for that path the way it's showing on the screen. Now if we go back to the computer and take the option, let's say I want to go into the reverse loop, I click here. The machines are going right now, and I gotta obviously go into this yard, so I click here and it's showing me that path going in. So that turnout should be thrown, and this one should be thrown. Let's see if that's the case. So again, I'm on the track. There's a train. Now we should be going left into that reverse loop, and there it is. It's thrown left. Goes around the loop, and then this one should be connecting and letting me get into what would be the yard, and there it is. Okay. Now this one I still have to, this turnout here, I still have to connect to the decoder. Because originally I wasn't going to use this as an automatic tortoise machine. I was just going to do it through the panel here, so I can control just manually for the yard. But I think I want to show on JMRI on the panel if there's a train occupying this, because this is a main line here, or the branch line. So if there's a train like here somewhere, I want it to display on the panel. So I am going to put a decoder on this guy, and I'll just show up to here on JMRI, and obviously show this line on JMRI. So the rest of these, like this guy, and the rest of the yard will be controlled here, like the way I have it right now. But otherwise, it'll display. So this is actually the wrong number. This is not even functioning right now. Those are set up correctly. I should be getting my other decoder today, so I'll be able to hook up the other ones. And then, obviously, if I want to take this route straight out of the yard and go that way and into the tunnel, I would have to switch it. So I'm going to do that. There's my panel. So I want to come out of the yard, click here, that should be lined up, and then I want to take this and line it up that way. So now I should be getting out of the yard through that straight path, not going into the reverse loop. So through the straight path and into the tunnel and through the rest of the layout. So let's see. There's a yard. If I would come out once I fix this guy, it would be lined up. There it is. It's lined up for the straight path of the yard, and then that switch or that turnout here should be lined up for me to take this route, and it is. You see? There it is. So now I don't have to be guessing what's going on there, because before, when I was throwing it through my, like from here, if I was throwing it through my throttle, I had no idea what was there, so I'd have to go in and lean in and make sure that it was right so I wouldn't get any trains derailing. So it was a little bit tricky. I mean, not a big deal, but it's just so much easier when you see the path on the actual panel. Now eventually, let me show you this part. There's a way to make, sorry about the mess here. There's a way to make the iPad, let me just fire it up here. There's a way to make the iPad, so here's the throttles. Originally I had this throttle going, this one. So it looks like this. Right, so I can control two different engines, and then the functions and all that stuff is here. But I could do this in a half panel. And go back to settings. And it says here, I don't know if you can see that, it says, there's a half panel here. So the throttles are there, but then JMRI. Any of these options are available. So if I click on that, and I go back to this, there's a way to, I believe, I'm not sure if I'm correct, but to still control your engines here, but then you should be able to see the panel here. So this panel should display here wirelessly through the Wi-Fi interface, and then I could just touch the actual turnouts while I'm walking around the layout if I want to, or not, or I could just sit on this chair and basically enjoy doing, basically switching everything from here. So which is my original plan when I first did the bench work. I wanted to be able to sit here and be able to see every part of the layout basically without, the hidden spots, and be able to, switch everything out from here, control station. And that's what I can do. And obviously, if I want to do it in a more operations type way, I can have somebody in the other room with the computer. But I can still have, hopefully, I can still have access to it on my own in case something goes wrong. I could just switch it out. So yeah, this is really cool. All right, that's it.